Good afternoon. I'm Nancy Dodge from YB Stamp. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I got my paper pumpkin kit. It arrived on Friday, but I was away, so my husband had to bring it in, and now it's Sunday. So anyway, today we're doing this Kindred Greetings August 2026 paper pumpkin kit unboxing. So I have the items for card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. Stamps, ink spot, which is gray granite, tear and tape, mini dimensionals, and some twine. All right, I'll put these things aside. We're going to do card number 1 first. Now I'm suggesting to you this piece that has the 5 sections. Don't punch those out. That's my tip of the day. Don't punch those out. And I'll show you why. The first thing the directions want us to do. Now I'm going to use my big gray granites. I like to save the small one for my senior classes. It's much easier for them. To stamp on the top 2 and the bottom 1. So I'm going to stamp like that and like this, and then down here. Like so. I don't think it's an exact science, but I was trying to be as close as I could to the directions. So you see the stamp? And then on the little itty bitty banner, we're going to stamp friend. Open my ink. Should have just left it open. Wasn't thinking. Ink up. Stamp in the middle. There we go. Okay. So this is why I told you to not punch it out. The directions say to put 3 across, 3 mini dimensionals across each strip. Doesn't have to be so even. About in the middles. But there's no exact science to it, I don't think. Sometimes there is, but with this particular step, there's not. Oops. I think these stuck together because they sat in the sun too long when they were delivered. So this is a linen, like, card base. I don't know if you can see that or not. Whoops. Would help if it wasn't blurry. Sorry about that. But it's got like a linen texture to it. Okay, now pull all the backings off without detaching the strips from the cutout piece. Because that way all the strips will be even. This cutout sheet is the exact same size as the card front, so it's very easy to line up. Gotta get these out. Find these little pieces all over the place like I do. Then I had a class here Thursday night, and of course now they're all over my, well, no, I cleaned them up, but when we were done, they're all over the floor. Okay. So line this up with the whole card front as best you can. And stick it down. And then pull this up without pulling it off the dimensionals. So it can be a little tricky. Just go slow. It'll come up. So if you had punched them out already, then it's harder to line these up evenly. So that's why I suggested, see how even they are now? Instead of having to put them on one by one. Okay, then this goes on, and I'm using instead of the tear and tape, I'm just using my Stampin' Seal. And it has me put the directions, some here, here, and here. And then line this up on the card about, about like that. Then take our strip and the hello, which I lost already. Stand by. All right, I found it. So the mini dimensionals again. Put 2 on the ends of the friend, and then 3 on the back of hello. Pull our card base over here. Yeah, these are definitely sat in the sun too long. And this kind of goes in a little underneath that, and then the dimensionals will go right in that little gully. Peel these off. And this goes a little on top, like so. So there's our first card and coordinating envelope. Isn't that pretty? All right, I'll get set up for number 2. All right, card number 2 has stamp on that. That's on the back. Isn't this pretty? Just love it. All right, we'll stick the envelope aside. Prop my instructions so that I can see them. We're going to stamp see if I can read this. Sending my whole heart at a time when words fall short. Unfortunately, I think we've all had too many sympathy cards we've had to send lately. All right. That's the only stamping on this one. I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to put mini dimensionals on the back of this. 1 in each corner. One on each of the sides. And try to put them so that they parallel, so that the little points don't stick out. Although mine still probably will, knowing my luck. And then a couple on some spots on some leaves that are wide. Let's see. They're kind of tough to find, but this one looks kind of wide. And I guess that's about it. I'll use that for the next card. All right, then on the back of on the front of this, we are going to, I'm going to use a little piece of tear and tape after all, because it'll just be easier in the long run of putting it on the back of this. All right, then flip it over. And we're going to put, well, it has tear and tape here, but I will just put some seal. And then take this and go back and forth, back and forth. And opposite, let's see, goes like this. Loop around. And then loop. Probably be easier if I do it this way, right? Wrap it and then stick it. Just trying to get it to go a little, spread out a little bit. Looks a little more decorative that way. And then our banner. And there are 3 pieces on the back. And then this goes over the twine. Like so. Then this goes on the card front with the darker variegation at the bottom. Ugh. Boy, are these sticking on me. It's usually not this bad. All right. Center it. And then pull this off the back and stick this down here. Like so. So there's our second card and coordinating envelope. All right, I'm going to set up for the third. I'll be right back. All righty. The third card. This is where the gray granite comes in. Envelope, a banner, a back piece, a cutout, and some twine. We're going to put the envelope aside. First, we'll do our stamping. So we're using this large sprig, and I'm always here for you. I'll get out my ink. I'll do this sentiment first. There we go. Then I'll stick that aside. And this goes like this. So ink it up. All right. That's it for ink. So then there are dimensionals on the back of this. hid them. Let's see. One here. Trying to go by what it tells me to do. The directions. Because sometimes it's specific and I don't realize that till I go to put the banner on, and then I say, oh nuts, I wish I'd known that. So and then 1, 2. There's a lot on this one. One more at the top. And then, uh-oh, look what I got on it. Did I stick my hand in it? Probably. I have this little sand eraser that I got. I know Stampin' Up! Just came out with one, but I've had this one for a while. I'm going to see if I can get that ink off. It's just like sandpaper. Slowly coming off. I try to do a little at a time because I don't want to put a hole in the paper. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. Alright. I could stamp it on the other side, but then it'll probably show through. Okay. Flip it over. 1, 2, 1 in the middle, and then the other 2 corners. Get our card base. Put this on. It's frustrating. But it's been so hot here, it doesn't surprise me. Okay. Let me look at this card a minute. I see. So it goes this way. Alright. So turn it this way. Put this here. And then peel this off. Oh, I forgot to put dimensionals on the back of the sentiment banner. Be very careful when you do this because this is a very delicate cutout. And you wouldn't want to rip your little sprig. And this goes like so. And then, where did my sentiment banner end up? Huh. It was just here. Hold on. I have absolutely no idea where it went, so I'm going to... Luckily, there are 4 of each of those banners. So if you make a mistake, or you lose it, like I did, you can restamp it. I'll probably find it as soon as I'm done recording, right? Okay, that's going on the back. So there, it's 15 inches of twine, and it's going to wrap around, it wraps around this that I already put on. See, learn by my mistakes. Right? All right. Move it up a little. and then tie it up. Of course, they're all thumbs today, right? Okay. I'll just put some more of these underneath because I had to rip these off. But you know what? Whoever gets this card will never know that I messed up. Unless you show them this video. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Okay. So there is tear and tape on the back on one side and 2 dimensionals on this side. And then this goes across here. Guess you could put it anywhere you want, but there we go. So here is card number 3. I'll put them all out for you. 1, 2, 3. They're pretty, aren't they? Alrighty, I'll see you again next month. Happy stamping!